Scottish Warrior 92 here, and welcome to another installment of Dragon Age Predictions and Suggestions, the series in which I talk about certain aspects of the Dragon Age games and whether or not how I thought about them and whether or not how I think they'll impact Dragon Age 3 and possibly future Dragon Age games. So last time I done the Warden, and I got a lot of great feedback. A lot of you made your opinions, because one or two of you done a very response. A lot of you gave very good reasons for why you want to see the Warden in there and why you don't want it. It's a good mixed opinion. A lot of you gave me your honest opinions, and I like that. Now we get to the character that basically everyone is sort of like meh with, and that is the main protagonist of Dragon Age 2, Hawke. Now, I don't think this is going to be as long as my Warden one, but as it says, this doesn't have a level cap, this doesn't have a time cap on it, so I probably will end up bragging on for quite some time. So let's get to the main thing. Did I like Hawke's character? Like most people, I am meh with him. I like him for some reason. Well, it was a him for me, but he, she, whatever. I like them for some reasons, but I dislike them from other reasons. Compared to the Warden, he isn't that great of a character. However, in the scope of Dragon Age 2, it makes sense why he was a main character. But at the same time, I can see why people don't like him. Or her. He, her, whatever. And as it says, I didn't mind him that much. Him or her. Them. I'll call them them. Them that much. One major problem that I've had with Dragon Age 2 is the fact that we got put basically into, a lot of people dubbed it the Commander Shepard syndrome, but I didn't. I just dubbed it lazy. I'm sorry. Even though I love Dragon Age 2 was okay in my opinion as a game. I've reviewed it if you want to check it out. But they only allowed you to select one race, which for the story of Dragon Age 2, it made sense why, but I still would have preferred if they had a bit more options. But as it says, Dragon Age 2 came out within a year and a half of Dragon Age Origins, so you can understand why. You understand, like, you should be glad we got what we got. And as it says, Hawke's character was okay for me. He wasn't they weren't that great, but they weren't that bad either. They were sort of like the very average in my opinion. And one thing I did like about Hawke's character was the fact that they evolved throughout the game, depending on your choices. Like if you were a pacifist, your Hawke would talk passively. If you were aggressive, your Hawke would talk aggressively. If you were a sarcastic son of a bitch, which I was, your Hawke would talk sarcastically to people and answer questions sarcastically, and even in party banter, which I actually, that's a lot of dialogue for just one character, and I loved it. It was awesome. I did end up watching a lot of stuff on YouTube. However, one major flaw with that was that if you played as a pacifist or an aggressive Hawke, most of the time there would be only certain characters that would agree with you and disagree with you, i.e. rival and friendship, and that is actually how it should work. However, if you played through as a sarcastic son of a bitch, everyone loved you. I have tested this, by the way. I done a full playthrough doing nothing but sarcastic tones, and I maxed out every single one of my companions' friendship bars to the max. I shit you not. And that was a problem for me, because it really made no sense. All the characters, no matter who you took with you in most instances, in some instances they did get a bit of rivalry, but later on you just maxed that out easily. Especially if you knew who to take on certain missions. But if you acted sarcastically or bluffed, everyone loved you. Everyone fucking adored you, and they were like, oh, you're so awesome. But at the same time, Aveline actually picks up on that and actually says, do you just day humor to put a shield up? And I like that. That was actually kind of nice the way that is, and people will react to you differently. But at the same time, it's still a bit of a cheapskate that you could basically bluff and be a sarcastic bitch and a bastard most of the time, and everyone would love you, and you could get out in most situations by being a sarcastic bastard, which is funny in some instances, but at the same time it kind of took away a wee bit from the game for me, in my opinion. And as I say, it's just my opinion. Now, one aspect, the main aspect that I liked about Hawke, and it is present throughout the game, because DA2 for me had a theme of family and loyalty. More so family, because of the basically your family in DA2, the Hawke family, and also the fact that a lot of your companions, if you got to know them pretty well and friend them and all that, or even rival them, they became your family, which I like. That was, for me, my opinion. Dragon Age 2 had a bit of a theme of family to me, in my opinion. It wasn't the main theme. The main theme was Mage versus Templar, but it had a sub-theme, in my opinion, about family, and I like that little thing. There's a lot of something different that they've done with Dragon Age, and I like that. Especially with your sibling. Now, let me just state this right now. I hate Carver with a fucking passion. 3 characters I don't like in Dragon Age 2 are Fenris, Anders, and Carver. I'm doing a whole video on companions from DA0 and DA2, so don't worry about that. That will be a lengthy video where I'll talk about each character individually. However, as it is, I didn't like Carver, so most of the time, in fact, Carver's one of the main reasons I don't play through as a mage in Dragon Age 2, because I prefer Bethany. And before anyone goes fucking apeshit, no, I'm not that kind of person. For those that don't know, Bethany, I shit you not, on the BioWare forums, on Twitter, on every fucking social network you can name, there were people demanding the ability to romance Bethany in Dragon Age 2. May I remind you, she is your sister in that game. No. That would be... If they'd done that, which I'm pretty sure they wouldn't in any way, shape or form, Dragon Age 2 would have been cancelled. If you're into that kind of shit, I'm not going to say anything. But no, I am not that kind of person. I did not want a romance Bethany. I never did. Don't get me wrong, she's attractive. But throughout the game, I'm just like, she's my sister. And I have a sister in real life, so So I'm like, she's your fucking sister. How can you bloody even think that? And and there's even a mod where you change Meryl's appearance to look like Bethany with dragon tattoos on her tits. And I will say one thing, she did have quite an ample bosom, which I was kind of like, am I playing Dragon Age or an anime? I'm sorry. Some instances when I was looking at Bethany, I was kind of like, those tits look anime. And for those that watch anime, you get that. I'm just my opinion. They kind of looked anime to me. I don't know if they were going for that look, but anyway. As it says, I really wasn't that kind of person. As it says, I saw Bethany as Hawke's sister, and the theme of family is quite apparent, especially if she dies in the Deep Roads, or spoiler alert, or joins the Grey Wardens. My Bethany in Dragon Age 2 went to the Circle, because I didn't want her to die or join the Grey Wardens. And I grew up to care for her as Hawke, as I do tend to roleplay the character. So I was playing as Hawke, and Hawke is the kind of character that wants his sister to be safe. He doesn't overprotect her, he knows he can handle herself, but he wants to ensure that she's safe and stays safe to keep his mother safe. And I like that. I like the connection between Bethany and Hawke more than Carver and Hawke. Even though if you like Carver, good on you. I don't like him. He's I kind of killed him on purpose, actually, in my playthrough as a mage. I took him to the Deep Roads and I was like, you're gonna die, you bastard, and I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Yeah, I'm a sick fuck. Screw yous. But as is, Hawke, for me, as I says, I like that little thing about him. I like the theme of family, especially when you get, spoiler alert, the death of Leandra, which was a really emotional scene. I really did like that scene. I didn't tear up. It wasn't tear-balling sad, but it was a nice wee scene that I liked. And as I says, that's kind of all I liked about Hawke. But it's really debatable whether you either liked Hawke or you didn't like Hawke, or if you were like me, you're just like, I like him but I don't like him, so it's kind of a meh for me. And as I said, I like the theme of family. That was kind of nice, especially when you get to know your companions and you help them out and they become your family, especially at the end of the game when they all leave together basically and then slowly but surely disappear. But they all have the theme of family, which I liked. I really did like that. It was a nice wee touch. I like that little theme in it. Now let's get to the big question. Do I want to see Do I want to see Hawke in Dragon Age 3? And the exact same answer as his character, meh. I honestly wouldn't mind if he wasn't in Dragon Age 3 or if he was in Dragon Age 3, but at the same time I still would let it go by the same rule as the Warden. It should only be a cameo, if I'm going to be honest. That's all it should be. It should just be a cameo, in my opinion. He shouldn't be an integral part of the story, but as I said, after watching my Warden video again, I understand that I was a wee bit too enthusiastic. I didn't put it into a critical thought and think about it. But as is Hawke, it's really hit or miss for me. Either yes, he should be in it, or no, he shouldn't be in it. It doesn't really bother me. As I said, I think it should only be a cameo. The only thing I want to know about Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 3 is what the fuck happened to my companions. Well, 5 of them at least. Aveline, Bethany, Varric, Meryl. I'm forgetting someone. Shit. Okay, the only ones I don't want to hear about are Anders, Fenris, and Sebastian. I really don't care about those 3. Those 3 could have died off screen, and I'd be like, yay, they're gone! I hated those characters. But, yeah, that's debatable. And, as I say, that's the only real thing I want to know is, like, what happened to my companions. What Hawke is, like, I would like to know what happened to him, but at the same time, I wouldn't really be too fussed if I didn't, if I'm going to be honest. As I said, the only way I can see him being in there is if he was captured like the Warden. That's the only way I could see it. If they were going to put him in the game. And that's the only way I think it could make sense. If he was captured. Or she. Sorry, by Hawke's a he. And it's really debatable. It's really debatable whether or not he or she should be in the game. And it all comes down to your personal opinion. And as I says, even though Hawke isn't that great of a character, I kind of want to know what happened to them after the game, because if, like most people, you're kind of like me, and you thought the ending to DA2 sucked as well. I kind of think the ending could have been improved. It says it wasn't as bad as that other game, but it wasn't that great of an ending. It kind of left things on a guess what's going to happen next, shitlords. In my opinion. And as I said, it all comes down to your personal preference. And I will say one thing. I forgot to mention I liked about Hawke's character was the Legacy DLC. That really flushed out the Hawke's character and Bethany's character if you took her with you, or your sibling's character. And really flushed them out a wee bit more, which I liked. I liked that little thing. It was really well done, in my opinion. It could have done a wee bit better, but I think it was well done enough. And the whole Magister thing, I adored. I was like, yes, Magister! And as for Mark of the Assassin, if anyone's wondering, didn't play it, don't want to play it. It's basically the fucking Felicia Day DLC, and I could not care less about it. I have reviewed Dragon Age Redemption, the web series starring Felicia Day, so if you want to check that out, just go back a couple videos. But yeah, I had to say, I really would be okay if he was in Dragon Age 3, but as I said, I wouldn't be too fussed if he wasn't. But I don't think, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think, after having a long hard think about it and having a couple of discussions with some of yous, I kind of agree with you in some instances. I don't think the main characters from Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2 will be in Dragon Age 3, because it kind of would detract a little bit from the game in some instances, but at the same time I can see how it could improve it as well. So Hawke is one that I'm just on the fence with. I really wouldn't mind if he was in it, or she was in it, or he was in it or not. I really couldn't. I don't know, I don't really mind that much, if I'm going to be honest. It all comes down to personal preference. Like, as I says, I think Hawke's character was meh. As I says, I'll defend Dragon Age 2 as a good game, but as I says, it came out within a year and a half of Dragon Age Origins, so be glad we got what we got. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been Mass Effect. It could have been that other game level of shit. I'm a sick bastard, I know. But yeah, I think it was well done. It was really well done. I liked it. I liked Hawke's character to an extent, and I didn't like it for other reasons. But as I say, the overall theme of family was the best part for me, in my opinion. So let me know what you thought about Hawke's character in the comment section down below. If you want to do a video response, that's more than welcome. Do you want to see Hawke in Dragon Age 3 or not? And Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And the next Dragon Age predictions and suggestions will be on the characters, companions from Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. May as well get them all done in one thing. So that's it. And advanced warning for Dragon Age characters, there is going to be a lot of spoilers, if you can't tell. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. And as always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92. I'll see you all later. Ciao for now. Mwah.